Let's begin sitting on your heels, knees open, arms in the sky. Roll those hands down in front of you on the mat. Hips to the heels, chest to the ground, forehead on the ground, attempting to push your lower back and your upper back towards the ground, really using the ground for support. You can lift your palms up onto your fingertips, slowly roll back, and start to roll your head around in a circle from left to right. Keep rolling. Just a few more times. Reverse the circle. Just roll through the neck, stretch out the entire neck. Just really have fun. Just wind, pushing out any energy, moving through however you'd like today. Looking up, stick your tongue out. Take your right hand across your chest to the left and look right. You can sway your hips from side to side here. Take your right hand behind your head and use your left hand for support. You could dance from side to side here. Take your left hand across your chest and look to the left. Taking deep breaths each time. Breathing through the entire belly. Taking your left hand over your head, arm bent, clasping with your right hand. Just moving through, you can move your upper body in a circle, just trying to find those points that need to be released. Both hands onto your knees. Let's roll through the hips in a circle from side to side. Just warming up the hips. We're going to do a lot of hip work today, and then roll through the other side. Clasp your hands behind your back, look up. Slight back bend and fold forward, bringing your hands to the ground, extended out in front of you in child's pose. Really pushing through the hips. Today's class is dedicated to ballet. It's a bit of a yoga ballet class. So some of the poses are going to be influenced by ballet moves. Walk both hands over to your right, left palm over right palm, stretching out through that left side. Both palms to center. Stretch through those hips and that lower back, and then walk them over to the left side. Right palm over left palm, stretching out that right side while keeping both hips onto your heels, not allowing your hips to lift up. Taking deep breaths each time. Coming back through the center, walking your hands forward onto your knees. We're going to do some cat-cows here. Let's first roll around onto our wrists, move the entire portion of your upper body in a circle to the left. And then to the right. Really using the ground, pushing through the ground, making sure your shoulders are aligned with your wrists. Look up, push through to cow, pushing through the upper back. Look up for cat, remembering to smile, stick your tongue out for lion's breath. Push through for cow, push up for cat. Wind around, wag the tailbone, move from side to side, just getting out any kinks, using the entire upper body. Straighten out both legs and come into plank. Wind through, back into down dog, bending one knee and bending the other. Wind through the top of your back into plank. Heels are to the sky, arms are straight, shoulders, hips, and heels are in a straight line. Roll back into down dog. Let's get your heels together, toes apart, while in down dog. Pushing through the ground here. Pushing your hips up to the sky, attempting to tilt your pelvis. Bring your heels off the ground and bend your chest towards your knees and straighten, bringing your heels back to the ground. Now let's reverse that. Bring your toes together, heels apart. Bend the knees. And let's move through your feet, rotating your feet to the tops of your feet. Bending and extending, just massaging out the tops of the feet. Bending and extending, and roll them back down, feet together. Let's bring your arms to your forearms, your hands clasped slightly behind your head, but your head is off the ground. Bring your feet closer together, kick one leg into the air and then the other for dolphin. Bring both knees on the ground, just release for a moment and relax. Straighten the legs for plank, arms are straight, looking forward. Shoulders, hips, and heels are in a straight line. Roll back through to down dog, left leg to the sky. Bend and extend the knees a few times. Roll out that hip, bending the knee. Just feeling free. Kicking the wall behind you, bring your left knee in and back to the sky. Left knee center and pulse, look up, back to the sky. Kick the wall behind you, left knee in to your right elbow, look to the right, back to the sky. Shift forward onto that right shoulder and let's come into Wild Thing, looking behind you, arm extends out behind you, your left knee is bent, right leg is straight, and bring that leg back around into Down Dog, lift your right leg to the sky, bend and extend. Just roll through that right hip a few times. Kick the wall behind you. Lean forward onto that left shoulder. Bring your right leg behind you for Wild Thing. Left arm is straight. Bring your right leg back to the ground for Down Dog. Left leg to the sky. Left knee swims through for Warrior 2, making sure to smile. Left knee is bent, right leg is straight, looking forward. Taking a deep lunge into that right leg. Reverse your warrior, arm comes behind you. And come through to side angle pose, left arm to the ground, right hand to the sky, looking up. I find that smiling makes me enjoy these poses a little bit. It's a little trick I use. Let's straighten out that left leg and look up, right hand to the sky for Trikonasana. Make sure your left hand is a little bit off the ground here. Right hand comes behind your back. You can press a little bit onto your left ankle for support. Bringing your right heel in, take a few hops forward. We're going to bend and extend both knees, first stretching the left leg and then the right. So up on your tippy toes, your back tippy toes. And now let's come into a lunge. Come forward into Warrior 3, palms are to your chest. Your leg is kicking the wall behind you and it's straight. You're balancing on your left leg. Bring your right knee to your chest and stand up straight. Attempt to grab the side of your leg, the top side of your leg into dancers. The left hand is at an angle towards the sky. Step back. Clasp your hands behind your back. Roll forward into Humble Warrior. Deep breaths. Breathing through the nose, out through the mouth. Rotate that heel to the sky. Toes, back toes pointing forward. Left hand to the sky for a slight twist in your lunge. Lift your left heel off the ground, looking up. Arm comes to the sky and then forward pulse through that left hip. Bring your right knee down to the ground. Bend and extend your left leg a few times. We're prepping for splits here. Grab the back of your right foot with your left hand and push towards your hips, stretching out the front of your right thigh. Release the foot. Bring a block underneath your left thigh and find your way into your splits on your left leg. Left leg and right leg are both straight as much as possible. Hips are square. Feel free to sway side to side, look up, stick your tongue out, roll forward, roll back up and back behind you, roll forward, roll back up, look behind you, and roll forward through the spine. Release the block, swing that left leg back behind you. Knees are bent and together, feet are together, arms are extended out in front of you, chest towards the ground, looking forward for puppy. Let's roll to your tummy and come to scorpion, elbows at your side, arms straight out in front of you. Rest onto your arms, extend each leg out, attempting to elongate the leg, and now pulse your right leg to the sky. Leg is straight. Pulse your left straight leg to the sky. Keep pulsing. Tuck your toes in, push up, feet are together, but bring them out to your right leg and come to side angle. Bring your left knee in, grab the back of your left heel, and attempt to straighten your left leg and hold here as long as possible. Release the leg, bring the left leg behind you for Wild Thing, look back, slight back bend. Bring the left hand to the ground for Down Dog. Left leg to the sky, bring your left knee in, swim through, Warrior 2. And let's come to the sides, heels in, toes out. Find your goddess, facing the side of your mat, just pulsing here, finding your center, big smile. Bring your right heel off the ground, pulse into that right hip. Heel back down, left hip to the sky. Left heel up and pulse. And now both heels up and pulse center. Keep pulsing. And bring the heels down, straighten the legs. Walk forward off of your mat, heels together, toes apart. We're going to do a little bit of ballet here. Bring your arms out in front of you and down in a slight circle. And press onto your toes, lift your heels. Keep lifting those heels. Bend the knees, roll the heels down, lift the heels, bend the knees, roll the heels down, lift the heels, straighten the legs, heels to the ground and reverse, heels to the ground and reverse, bend the knees, lift the heels, straight, straighten, and bring your arms up over your head, and lift and lower the heels. Bring your arms out in front of you and squat down to the ground. Straighten your legs. Do that one more time. Heels up, squat, and bring your heels down to the ground. Just find your center again. Bring your right toe forward. Keep bringing your right toe forward and then to the side. And now right toe to the side. Your right heel should be facing the front of the room. Let's do that on the left side. Left toe comes forward. Keep bringing that left toe forward and then to the side. Your left heel should attempt to come towards the front of the room and release. Let's come back to your mat. Slowly roll forward. Find your way into Down Dog. Right leg to the sky. Bend and extend that left knee. Kick the left wall behind you. Rotate that left hip out a few times. Bring your left knee in. Your right knee in. For Warrior 2, right knee is bent. You can bend and extend that right knee a few times, finding that perfect side, that perfect Warrior 2. Reverse your warrior, right hand comes behind you, stretching out your side. And bring that right hand to the ground, left hand to the sky for side angle. Left arm is extended at a diagonal. Straighten the right leg. Right hand to your right ankle, left hand to the sky, stretching out through the left side of your hip, attempting to elongate your left hip to the ground. Bring your left hand behind you for Trikonasana. Face your right leg, lift your left heel off the ground, step forward. And we're going to roll onto the backs of our toes and our front heel. So back heel is off the ground and now right foot is off the ground. Lift your back heel, lift the back heel, bend, lift the back heel. And now balance onto your right leg into Warrior 3. Left heel is kicking the back wall. Bring your left knee in. And balance. Grab the back or the top and the side of your foot, lifting up into dancers. Balance on that right leg. Bring the left leg behind you. Clasp your hands behind your back. Roll forward into Humble Warrior. Your head should come inside of your right knee. Release the hands, lift your back heel off the ground, and now come onto your back knee, bend and extend your right leg. Continuing to bend and extend through that right leg. Grab the back of your back foot with your right hand. And release. Bring a block underneath your right thigh and come down into your splits. Both legs are straight. Both hips are facing the front of the room if possible. You could lean back and roll forward into your splits. Lean back, roll forward, lean back, and roll forward. Remove the block, swing your right leg behind you, knees are bent, hips to the sky, arms are extended out in front of you, chin to the ground, looking forward for puppy. Roll forward onto your stomach into scorpion, elbows at your side. Looking forward, hands are straight in front of you. You can rest your head onto your hands. Extend your left leg and then your right leg. Just pulsing each leg to the sky. Just squeezing your butt each time. Squeeze the left cheek, squeeze the right cheek. Take your arms clasped behind you and look up, slight back bend, chest comes off the ground, and release the arms to the side. We're going to do that one more time. Arms clasped behind you, look up, chest off the ground, arms to your side, tuck your toes in, push up into plank. Let's roll through onto your left shoulder, left leg is straight, or right leg is straight, grabbing the back of your heel and attempting to straighten, bringing your right leg behind you and looking back for Wild Thing. Bring your right hand to the ground for a down dog. Bring your right leg to the sky, bring your right knee in, swim through. For Warrior 2, right knee is bent. Reverse the warrior. Let's find your goddess. Heels in, toes out. Just bend and straighten those legs. Lift your right heel off the ground, pulse into that right hip, and heel down. Left heel off the ground and pulse. Heel down, both heels off the ground and pulse. Heels down. Take your arms clasped behind you, toes pointing forward, and roll forward for a wide angle forward fold. Release the hands, bring the hands down to the ground. Hands should be aligned with the front of your feet. Or you can grab the backs of your ankle and pull towards your center. Just using your core, trying to get your forehead to the ground. You can bend one knee and then the other, just finding your way through your hips. Bring your right head to your head to your right knee, and then center. Bring your head to your left leg. Just trying to get closer to your legs here. And back to center. Walk your feet closer together. Slowly walk both feet all the way together. Just hang here in a forward fold with feet together. Slowly roll up, head comes last. Slowly find your way off your mat, heels together, toes apart, a little bit more ballet work. Just keep lifting your heels here. Lift the heels and lower, lift and lower, lift, bend the knees, pulse through the knees, lower the heels, straighten, bend the knees, lift the heels, straighten, lower the heels, lift the heels, bend the knees, lower the heels, and reverse. Bring your right foot pointed behind you, just continually to drag the front toes through the ground, pointing behind you, and then to the side, right toes to the side, right heel to the front of the room, and reverse, left heel behind you, point your left heel, or your left toes behind you, in first position, and now left toes to the side of the room. Lift the heels, bend the knees and squat. Bring your heels down, straighten the legs, lift the heels, bend the knees, heels to the ground and straighten. Just release the feet for a moment. Come back to your mat, feet together. You can stretch out your hips for a second if you'd like. Just rolling through. Lower your chest, lower your knees, knees apart, feet together. Sit back onto your heels, arms extended out in front of you, forehead to the ground for child's pose. And just breathe deeply, breathe through the nose. Find your way back into down dog, lift the left leg to the sky, bring your left knee in, swim it through. Let's come to warrior one. Your right heel is on the ground, left toes are pointed forward, and your right hip is slightly open. Rotate your right hip forward, bringing your right heel off the ground. For crescent, arms are above your head. Trying to get deeper in that left leg. Swing both arms around into the front of your mat, launching into half moon. Right hand to the sky. Right foot is pointed towards the side of the room. Grab the back of that right foot. Look down at your foot and rotate your hands to the side of your foot. And slowly come up. If you lose your balance, just smile and find your dancers. Bring your left your right leg to the back of the mat. Bring your knee to the ground. Bend and extend through that left leg. Just keep bending and extending. Bring a block underneath your left thigh. Come down into your splits. Both legs are straight. You can roll forward, head comes to the knee, and roll back. Roll forward, and roll back. Roll forward. Bring both hands to the side. Swing your left leg around, knees together, feet together, chest to the ground. Looking up, arms are straight, just pushing through your shoulders and your hips. Bring your belly to the ground, elbows to your side for scorpion. Bring your hands to your chest and then out of your mat. And just roll through the spine here, just pushing up, rolling down, push through the arms, roll up, roll down. Bring your arms to your side, tuck your toes in, push up for plank and push up, lower, push up, and push back into down dog. Lift the right leg to the sky, bring your right knee in. Warrior 2, right knee is bent, left leg is straight, left toes are facing the side of the mat. Bring your arms to the sky, turn your left hip slightly open. For Warrior 2. Lift your left heel off the ground, arms to the sky for Crescent, pushing through the front of your left thigh. Right knee is bent, trying to straighten out your back. Bring your arms to the ground, launch forward into half moon. Left hand comes to the sky, left toes are pointed towards the side of the room. Grab the back of your left foot with your left hand. Slight back bend. Look down at your feet. Rotate the clasp of your hand around your foot. Grab the side and the top of your back foot. And try to balance while you stand straight up into dancers. If you lose your balance, just come back into dancers, grabbing the top of your foot and lifting up through the front body. Release the back of the foot to the back of the mat. Bring your left knee to the ground. Bend and extend your right leg. Continuing to bend and extend. Grab the back of your left foot with your right hand and squeeze your heel to your hips. Release the foot. Bring your back knee off the ground, your right heel off the ground, and pulse into your right hip. Back knee on the ground. Bring a block underneath your right thigh and come down into your splits. Roll forward, roll back, look up, roll forward, roll through the spine, roll back, look up, roll forward, roll through the spine. Push up with your hands, release the foot to the back of the mat, both feet together. Feet together, knees together, hips to the sky, chest to the ground, looking forward. Roll onto your belly, elbows at your side. Bring your head to the ground, your arms to your side, push up into plank. Let's do some push-ups. Push up and lower, push up and lower, push back into down dog. Bend one knee, bend the other. Bring your left leg to the sky. And bend your left leg. Just hold here. Kick the back of the wall, bringing both hips square. Bring your left knee in. And come into Warrior Two. Clasp your hands behind your back, look up, and fold forward into Humble Warrior, your head coming inside of your left knee. Release the arms, rotate your back heel in, left hand to the sky. And stand up. For crescent, your right heel is off the ground. Hips are straight forward. Bring your back heel back to the ground, right hip is slightly open. Swing through to a center fold. Bringing your heels in if you need. Bend your right knee, straighten your left leg. Squat onto your right hip. You could bring a block behind your heel if it's off the ground. Release the block, swing over to the other side. Bend the left knee, right leg is straight, squat. Bring a block underneath your heel, arms extended out in front of you, always smiling. Straighten the legs. You could extend your arms out slightly in front of you. You could bend one knee, bend the other. Bring both feet together. Take a seat on the ground, legs apart. Bringing your left hand over your head towards your right toes. Reverse, bringing your right hand to your left foot. Both hands to the sky, face your left leg and fold forward. Come center, fold forward. And move towards your right foot, bringing your right head towards your right knee and folding forward. Push up and roll forward into your center splits, your middle splits. You don't have to come close to the ground. Keep rolling forward, bringing your knees to the ground, knees open, bringing your hips to the ground, bringing your feet together for frog. You can rotate one hip and then the other. Push up off your hands. Sit back onto your heels. Knees together. Come to seated, back onto your mat. Bring your feet behind you. Find your way into down dog. Bring your right leg to the sky. Kick the wall behind you. Just rotate your hips out a few times if you'd like. Bring your right knee in and swim through to Warrior Two on the right. Left heels are facing the side of the room. Right toes are forward. Bring your hands clasped behind you, fold forward, bringing your head, bring your hands clasped in between your hips and your right knee. Humble warrior. Release the hands to the ground. Rotate the back heel off the ground. Slowly roll up into crescent. Hips are parallel. Square to the front of the room. Bring the hands back to the ground. Bring your right heel off the ground and pulse into that right hip. Bring your back knee to the ground. Bend and extend that right leg. Bring a block underneath your right thigh and come down into your splits. Hips are square. Roll forward. Roll back. Roll forward. Roll back. And roll forward. Release the block. Come to sitting. Move your legs behind you, feet together, knees together, hips to the sky for puppy. Come onto your bellies. Bring your hands to your sides, feet together, tucked in. Push up into plank. Let's do some push-ups here. So push down, push up, push down, push up, and back into down dog. Left leg to the sky, bring your left knee in. Coming into warrior two on that left side, hips are square. Straighten the left leg. Look up, right hand to the sky. Trikonasana. Roll that back heel off the ground, come into a lunge. Bring your back knee to the ground, both knees behind you and bent for puppy. Straighten out the legs, come into chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Right leg to the sky, right knee in. Warrior two on the right side, left toes are to the side of the room. Right toes are straight. Straighten the right leg, left hand comes to the sky. Really pushing through the left hip here. Both hands to the ground. Bring your back heel onto the ground. Step back into puppy. Come into plank, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Bring both knees to the ground. They can be wide apart or close onto your heels for child's pose. Great job. Taking deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth, slowly roll up, roll your head around, coming back down onto your hands and then onto your hips. Take a seat, lie on your back, making sure that your hands reach the back of your heels. Let's push up your hips to the sky. Don't round out your back too much. Make sure your back is straight. Push up and lower. Push the heels up and lower. Heels up and lower. Hips up. And pulse at the top, squeezing both cheeks. You can squeeze one cheek, keep squeezing. Squeeze the other, keep squeezing. Rotate both hips in a circle, squeeze at the top. And reverse your circle, squeeze at the top. Keep circling. Hips to the ground. Let's prep for some push-ups. So bring your hands, or some sit-ups, bring your hands behind your head and crunch forward. Knees are bent, feet are on the ground. Bring your right heel off the ground. Knee bent, crunch towards that right knee. Straighten out your right leg, crunch towards the right leg. Keep crunching. We're doing about 5 crunches per move. Bend the knee and crunch towards the right knee. Keep crunching. Turn your right knee out and crunch. Bring your right foot to the ground. Keep crunching. Center. Keep crunching. Keep breathing. Left knee to the sky. Keep crunching. Turn that left knee out. Crunch. Keep crunching. Straighten the left leg. Crunch towards that left leg. Keep crunching. Keep breathing. Keep going. Bend that left knee, crunch towards the left knee, just burning your core out here. Keep crunching, keep breathing. Left foot on the ground, move in a circle, up the entire upper body in a circle to the right. Keep circling to the right and reverse the circle. Circle to the left. Keep circling. Bringing both knees in, arms in the air, and hold. Straighten out the legs, arms above your head. Deep breaths. Bring your arms out to a T. We're going to crisscross your legs, one over the other, and walk them up to the sky, and then walk them back down, continuing to crisscross each time, keeping your feet off the ground, bringing your feet up and then down. Flex the feet, hold your arms to the sky, and bring everything together. Roll onto your belly, stretch out that stomach. Roll back onto your backs. Feet on the ground, knees are bent. Make sure your hands are reaching your back heels. Lift your hips and toes off the ground. Bring a block underneath your tailbone and your lower back for supported bridge. Chin to the chest. Lift your right leg to the sky, and then your left. Both legs to the sky, feet are flexed. Attempting to get your upper back onto the ground, letting the block do the work. Release the legs, release the block. Knees in, toes out. Always knock your knees in after any type of back bending to release the lower back. It's really important. If you ever feel any pain in these poses, just skip them altogether. Bring your knees back where they are, heels off the ground. Bring a block underneath your back and release onto that block. Just surrender onto the block, bringing your upper back towards the ground. Bring your right leg to the sky, and then the left. Both legs to the sky, feet are flexed. Bend the knees, bring them back to the ground, release the block. Knock the knees in, toes out. Release the lower back. Continuing to take deep breaths, always using up the entire space of your abdomen and your lungs. Bring your feet back on the ground, bring your arms to your ears and push up, straighten your arms, release the neck, looking behind you, really focusing on your upper chest here. Back bends are meant to be more about the upper chest than your lower back. You never want to feel any pain in your lower back. Immediately release. Slowly roll down to the ground, one vertebrae at a time. Knock your knees in. Just rest here before we do it once more. Continuing to breathe for a moment. We're going to do that one more time. So feet back on the ground, bring your arms by your ears and push off your arms, straighten the arms through the top of your chest. Release the neck. Toes are in, heels are out. Slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Knock the knees in, toes out. Deep breath. And feet back together, feet together, knees apart. For butterfly, still resting on your back. Bring your right knee to your chest, straighten out your left leg. Roll your right hip in a circle a few times. Extend your right leg to the sky, attempting to get your foot closer to your head. Grab the back of your heel and bring your right leg to the left wall, stretching out through the right side of your hip. Grab the back of your heel with your other arm and stretch out to the right side. And release the leg. Bring your left knee in, right leg is straight. Just move that left hip in a circle a few times. Straighten the left leg to the sky, trying to get your left leg closer to your face. Bringing your left heel towards the right side of the room with your right hand. Grab the back of your heel with your left hand, bring it to the left side of the room. Just pushing down towards your side. Just hold here and release. You could bring both knees in, circle both knees apart, away from one another, and then together, apart, and then together. Circle them the other way, apart, and then together, apart, and then together, apart, and then together. Roll onto your back and come forward. Legs are straight out in front of you, arms to the sky, fold forward, forward fold. Bring a block in front of your feet, grabbing the side of the block. Attempting to get your head towards your shin. Release the block. Bring your feet behind you. Come to a down dog. Bring your left leg to the sky, bend the knee, and come forward into pigeon. Making sure your left leg is at a 90-degree angle if possible. It's okay if your left foot is pointed towards your right hip, as you see here with me. I'm not as open on my left side. Bringing your head and your chest towards the ground. You can rest your head on a block or on the ground. Straightening out your arms in front of you. Just breathing really deeply through that left hip. Just keep breathing. Keep breathing. Push off the ground with your hands. Bring your left leg back into down dog. Bring your right leg to the sky, bend the knee, bring that right knee forward. Your right knee, the front of your right leg should be facing the front of your mat if possible at a 90-degree angle. Really sitting into that right hip, left leg is straight out behind you. Head is on a block or on the ground. Breathing into that right hip. Just keep breathing, keep surrendering, letting go, asking your body to release anything that doesn't belong there. Release the block, push off with your hands. Bring your right leg back into down dog. Bring your heels together, toes apart, in down dog. Attempting to push your calves close together if they aren't already. In reverse, bring your toes together, heels apart. Come onto both knees, swing your legs around. Lay on your back. Bring your knees in. Grab onto the backs of your heels and push towards the ground. Just moving in this opposition, heels towards the ground. Just massage out those kidneys. You can rock from side to side. You can straighten out both legs. And release the legs. Bring your feet back to the ground and extend them straight out. Bring both feet outside of the mat and both hands outside of the mat. Shoulders should be slightly tucked in. Lower back should be as flat as possible to the ground. Shavasana. You can take one really big deep breath and then continue with normal breath. Just bringing yourself back to your regular pace. Release the crown. Release the forehead. Release the eyebrows. Release the cheeks. Release the mouth. Release the tongue at the top of your mouth. Release your throat. Release your shoulders. Release your chest. Release your upper arms, your forearms. Release your hands and your fingers. Release your abdomen and your pelvis. Release your upper thighs, your lower thighs. Release the knees. Release your shins and your calves. Release your feet and your toes. Completely surrender, completely let go. This is yoga. Shavasana is the hardest, most important pose in yoga. There's nowhere you need to be. There's nowhere you need to go. This is where you practice non-reaction and non-violence. You can always come back to this space mentally. This is a safe space for you. Imagine a cord coming from your crown, through your body, through your feet, and back to the earth. Reminding yourself that you are connected to the earth, you are grounded. You could send any energy back to the earth for it to be transmuted. You can always send away any energy you don't need back to the ground. Our minds are so programmed that sometimes the thoughts are not ours. Feet together, arms above your head, letting the ground shape you, letting it form you, just resting here for a moment. Imagining a bright white light over your entire body. Imagine that light filled with love and peace and clarity. Imagine that light healing you. Bring your feet back to the ground, bend the knees, roll onto one side, rest your head onto your arm. Just cradle yourself here. This is a very nurturing pose. Just rest here for a moment. You could continue to imagine that white light over your city, over your state, over your country, over the whole world. Imagine it sending peace and love and unity to everyone, reminding us that we are all one and we're all connected. Remembering that intention, if you set it for a particular person, you can imagine that person and send them love with this light. Sending yourself deep self-love, deep healing. Remembering that you are divine. Push off with one arm, head comes last. Cross your legs, come to a seated, cross-legged fold. Take in a deep breath, hold your breath at the top for 3 seconds, and then release out through the mouth. Do that one more time, deep breath. Hold at the top for 3 seconds and fully release. One more time. Deep breath. Hold at the top for 3 seconds and fully let go. Bring your right hand to your heart, left hand to your belly. Asking your heart what it has for you today, remembering that your heart has a mind. They call it the mind heart. Following your intuition and your heart over your mind, letting go of the ego, leading with your heart. Releasing everything that just happened. Just being present in every moment, not thinking of the past or the future. Bring both palms together into your chest, head slightly bent. Our hearts beat the same. We are one and the same. We all want the same thing. We are all the same. The light within me sees the light within you. Bring your palms to your forehead, look up, and fold forward. Namaste. Don't forget to smile.